Howdy, y'all, and welcome to another new episode of the Cowboy Corner Show with me, the cowboy, who is also in the corner. That's where you're always going to find me when we're doing this show. Hey, I want to thank you for joining me today on this show. It's been a really good day. I hope that you have had yourself a good one, just as I have. We've just been working hard out there on the range, just like we do. We are making it happen. We are making it work. Me and old Conrad, we are out there just busting them up and just being top hand cowboys. You know, that's what we are. That's what we do. Conrad obviously is a cow dog, but every good cowboy has to have a good cow dog. Am I right? And, we're just going to sit down today. We're going to have us another good show. Things have been going really well for me. I know they've been going really well for you too, because, hey, you are here. You're watching the Cowboy Corner Show. And if you are not doing well, then you probably ain't going to be here, because that's all we do. We just have good times. You know, we are high, but we are only high on life. Hey, so, I had me a good breakfast this morning. Every morning starts with a good breakfast. Well, I wish they did. They don't necessarily always start with a good breakfast, but I am a breakfast guy, and I had me a good breakfast this morning. I can throw down on some breakfast burritos, get you some bacon, get you some sausage, get you some chorizo, a little bit of chorizo, throw some, of course you got to have the eggs in there, and then you mix it all up, put some veggies in there, some bell peppers, shoot those, go mighty fine in there. Did I say bacon? You got to have plenty of bacon in there, baby. It gets that grease that just kind of sticks everything together. And then once you get it off of the, whether you're cooking it on a flat iron, we'll cook it on a flat iron or we'll cook it on a disco, either way. And then you pull it off of there, you throw some of that shredded cheddar cheese up on top. And then you got to I prefer to use either the Tabasco sauce or the Cholula, and I'll throw some of that on that baby. Put it on a tortilla, of course. Now, you ain't always got to have the tortilla, but I'm a tortilla boy myself, so I'll throw it on there and wrap that baby up, and then we'll go to town on it. I ain't really never had a bad breakfast. Breakfast is the best meal of the day. It gets everything jump started. And I really like me some pancakes. I like some waffles. I don't necessarily understand why they got to do the fancy pancakes. Like, I just want a plain Jane pancake, some buttermilk pancakes. Heck yeah, that's where it's at. But we don't need blueberries, strawberries. You got your chocolate filled. They even do some with the peanut butter. You're just getting a little weird. Like, your pancakes don't need all that. They are mighty fine with just a pancake. And then obviously you got to have a good high quality maple syrup, because that syrup, that is some money right there. So you don't want like the cheap syrup. It just ain't got the same kick as a good top quality maple syrup, like the kind they make around Vermont, even some of that Canadian stuff. It's good stuff. And that'll make the pancake. If you ain't never tried a really good syrup, and those bottles of syrup can get pretty expensive, but it's worth it, I tell you. Now, I also don't mind some whipped cream. You can put the whipped cream on the pancakes, and that's mighty fine too. But you start just getting into all kinds of crazy fruits and different things, bananas. We don't need that on the pancakes. I don't think you need it. I think you're just putting too much. Like, there's a line that you go, and then that's where you stop. And you don't need the fruit on the pancakes. Now, you can have the fruit. Fruit's good. I like fruit just as much as the next guy. I try to eat me a banana every day. I'll eat a bowl full of strawberries. I'll eat a bowl full of blueberries. I'll have me a nice crispy apple. I'm a fruit guy, but you don't need to own the pancakes. You want to put it next to the pancakes. You want to have it separately. Yeah, that's great. But And I mean, if you like fruit on your pancakes, that's fine. You do your own thing. I'm just saying, I think it's just a little fruity. So that's how I stand on that. Also, I'm a bit of a cereal snob, if we're being honest. What I mean by that is like, I like the certain cereals, and I know that a lot of them they make like you can get the big old bag of cereal, and it's kind of the same thing, but it ain't quite. And I once again, if you like that kind better, then that's fine. But I prefer like I want the real Lucky Charms. I want the real Lucky Charms that's got the real marshmallows in there. It's got the crunchy grain parts, whatever the whole grain little shapes. I don't know what they called, but you get them out of the big trash bag size. It's like $1.50, for 4 pounds of it. Looks like a big old bag of dog feed, and it just ain't the same thing. I mean, there's a difference. There is, and I ain't saying that just because it's cheaper, because just because it's cheaper don't necessarily always mean that it's worse in every condition. But with the cereal, I'm just a bit of a cereal snob. I want the real Lucky Charms. I want the real Fruit Loops. I want the real Oreo cookies. I don't want the twisty shouties or whatever they call it, because they're soggy. Like you get them right out of the package, and they're already like soggy, stale. It's I don't know. There's some things that you just don't skimp on, and with me, you don't skimp on the cereal. Now, if that don't bother you, once again, I ain't judging you. Eat what you want, eat what you like, but I would do myself a favor and get the real deal. And it's kind of the same way with the Sodie Pops too. There's Sodie Pops that, if you ever notice, like they'll be the same thing, but they got different names on them. Like you got a Sprite, and then you got you a 7-Up. And if you was to pull the labels off of them and make the bottles look the same, or the cans look the same, or you pour them in a glass and try it, you wouldn't know the dadgum difference. I guarantee you wouldn't. And now they're making the one called a Starry, I believe, and it's the same thing. It all tastes the same. It tastes just like the Sprite or the 7-Up. You can get you a Dr. Pepper, and then you can get you a Dr. Thunder. And, they even both doctors. Like they both went and got their dadgum doctorate degree from the Sodie Pop University, and they taste just the same. And I mean, it's like 6 in one hand and half a dozen in the other. There really ain't no difference. It's just those are kind of funny things, that I think about, and you probably don't think about. But there's a lot of times when I'm just on the ranch, getting her done out there, and when you're out there and you're just in the wide open spaces and in the prairie, you ain't got nothing to do except think about weird stuff like different flavors of Sodie Pops, or the different types of cereal that come in a box or in a bag, and then what's the difference on it, but they taste the same to me. The Sodie waters do. Now there's a difference in the cereal, but the Sodie waters taste the same, and that kind of brings back another thing. Y'all ever had the fellers that'll come to your door and they knock on your door, and you can tell what they're doing before you ever even open the door. They usually got like the fanny pack on, or like a little kind of like a tool belt thing, and they got spray bottles hanging off the sides of it, and they got another little bag, and they got a brush in there and like a little toothbrush and stuff. And you answer the door, and they're, hey, I got this miracle working solvent, and it's biodegradable and it's environmental friendly, but it will take the paint off of your car if I sprayed it on there and scrubbed it with this little toothbrush. Some of them fellers came to my door not too long ago, and I went out there and took their little course, and it's the second or third time that's happened to me over the years. But what's funny to me is both times that I remember that happening, the feller that's selling it, he'll take a little drink of that stuff because he says it's environmentally safe and it's harmless to your kids and your pets. And then he takes a little drink of it. And I'm like, bro, you just use that same stuff and you scrub tar off of my driveway. and I mean, it did take it off. I'll give you that. But now you have swallowed some of that into your esophagus and down into your guts. And then I'm thinking, okay, and you did that as you were presenting this to me, but you've also presented it to everybody in the neighborhood and in multiple cities because these guys travel. These fellers are like a traveling circus, and they go from town to town. And if you've worked for the company, say that you've even worked for them for a year, and you're trying to sell this stuff every day, and you're going to, say you're going to, 50 houses a day, and say half of those people are actually getting far enough to let you do a little drink thing at the end, that's one reason that I went out there and listened to him, because I already knew the whole thing and I wasn't really going to buy it, but I wanted to see if the fella would drink it, and he did. But then I'm thinking, how much of that stuff over the span of his career as the environmentally friendly cleaner salesman has he swallowed? Like, he's probably got gallons of that stuff. And I'm just thinking, like, it maybe it ain't gonna kill you right there on the spot, but I guarantee you it ain't good for you. It can't be. So I was just thinking about that. Let's pray for them fellers, because they've probably got like some battery acid going on down in there. And we just need to pray for them that they be supernaturally healed from whatever that's doing to them. Because however much commission they're making off of that stuff, which I did give the guy, look, I ain't cheap. I did give the guy a little bit of money just for the show. So just so you know, don't start judging me and sending me mean comments. Okay. Well, I do have some mean comments though that some other people have sent me. I'll get to them here in a minute. I'll read them to you. But anyway, I was just wondering how many gallons of that solvent have them fellers drunk, and then you can go to the Walmarts or the Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever and buy pretty much the same stuff. They're wanting like $50 for a little like a quart of it, something like that. And heck, you can just go buy some Simple Green. You got you the same stuff, mix it with some water, dilute it down a little bit, and just go to town and clean whatever you need to do. But don't swallow it. Like, just don't swallow. There ain't no need to. Just, drink you some healthy water, drink you some tea, drink you a Sodie Pop, drink you a glass of milk every once in a while, because it's good for your bones. It got lots of calcium in there. And, just don't drink the solvent. We don't need to do that. Let's just pray for them fellers. They need it. They need it. So, that's what I've been thinking about recently in the past few days, and just thought I'd share with you. I know that school's out. A lot of kids are out and about and playing around. You need to go play outside. You don't need to be inside playing video games all the time. If you watching this, I done told you last week, and I'm telling you again, if you need something to do, give Cowboy a call, because Conrad's got plenty of dog poop you can scrape up and go throw away. We got some weeds and be whacked. I can get you going. So don't get bored now. Don't get bored and lazy. Don't be staying home just eating the tater chips all day. You need to get out and play around, do some sports, play some baseball, whatever. I played baseball a little bit. I played baseball when I was a kid and then through high school. And, I wasn't terrible at it, but I wasn't great neither. So, baseball didn't get me too far, but I enjoyed it, and I still watch a lot of baseball, and it's a fun game to play. So get out there and do something. I also I used to be quite a bowler. I really did. I was a pretty darn good bowler a few years ago. We used to have a pretty nice bowling alley here, and it's since closed down and turned into a nightclub or some sort, but back when it was open, boy, I'd go bowling. I had my own bowling ball, had my little carrying case for my bowling ball, had my name on the side of it, all embroidered in there, looking sharp, baby. And I'd roll in there and get out of the truck, walking into the bowling alley. Everybody'd look over because look at that old boy's got his own bowling ball. He's got his name on the side of his case. He must be something. And I go out there and twinkle toe around, throw a little curve, and I was pretty decent now. I was pretty decent. I don't know that I ever bowled a perfect game, but I think I hit about a 270 one time, 275, somewhere in there a few times. So, that's definitely a presentable score. That wasn't consistent. That was on my good days. But, yeah, I was a bowler. And then I played some, badminton before. And that's where, it's kind of like tennis, but you're hitting a little, like a little dart, I think they called it. But I was playing with the group, and this old gal didn't know what she was doing. And we were next to each other. Well, she went on a backswing, and I was right here. And that dadgum racket hit me right across the bridge of the nose. And that was all she wrote, broke my old nose, and I was done. That was the end of my badminton career. And really, that's about it as far as cowboy and sports. Now, obviously, I do ride the motorcycles, and I raced them a few times, but that didn't end up well neither. At the one point, whenever I came up a little short and ended up in a wheelchair for a little while, and then on crutches for a little while, because I broke an ankle on one leg, and I broke my fibia on the other leg. So I was in a pretty bad way there for a little while, and that ended my motorcycle racing career, and it kept me off the motorcycles altogether for about 5 or 6 years. But, you can't keep a good cowboy down. So recently, about a year ago, I went and got me a new Kawasaki KX450, and she's in the garage, purrs like a kitten, fast as you want it to be, and they've really changed a lot. They have really... because I believe my last one was a 2014. It was a Yammer YZ250F, and it was definitely a nice machine. But they have really upgraded everything from the 2014 to the 2024, which is what the one that I got now is. Every Bluetooth, the whole shebang, you can change the ignition and everything just off your phone and make that baby do whatever you want it to do. It is real nice. So yeah, motorcycles, dirt bikes, motocross, we're doing that. Me and the boys, when we ain't ranching, when we ain't making top hand cowboys, we are making mediocre motorcycle enthusiasts. You can find us at your motocross track, at your sand hills, whenever we have time and a chance to do that. So you ever want to go riding? Hey, give me a holler. We will go out there and we will shred it up a little bit. Just hope that you can keep up, What else going on? I was thinking the other day also, I get a pretty good kick of driving down the road, and you can see somebody coming, and then in my mind, I just picture what do they look like if they ain't in the car? Like if the car is invisible, just say the car's invisible, and then so you got this old boy or this old gal, and they just like this, and I get a pretty good kick out of that because I can picture it in my mind. They're just going, and they're sitting upright in this position. They're looking around. If you ever do that, you can get a pretty good kick out of it. That's one way I pass time while I'm sitting at a red light in the old ranch truck, waiting to go. I'll just be giggling to myself and the people next to me. They're looking over like, this old feller's sitting in the truck by himself, and he's just having a heck of a time giggling. And I just say, hey, it ain't none of your business. Like, you do your thing, I do mine, all right, and we will not bother each other, okay? Another thing that I think is pretty hilarious, and it's also one of my pet peeves because it kind of gets my nerves, but the people, like if you look on the Instagram, you see it a lot, and it's the people that are they'll film like a little short video, and it's going to be, it's going to say like, I realized today that if I don't change the oil in my truck, my engine will blow up. But all they're doing in the video, they got them 9 times out of 10, they got them a drink of some sort, whether it be a coffee cup, whether it be a can of something, whatever. And all they're doing in the video is going. And then they got these captions that go across, and it says something stupid like, if I don't change the oil in my truck, it's going to blow up, or, something along them lines. And I'm just like, what did I just watch? Like, seriously, why did I just spend 30 seconds watching this old boy or this old gal not do nothing except take a little swig of some cup? Or maybe they're eating some French fries. Or, they're always doing something stupid that you like, why did I watch that? And if it didn't have the caption going across, and what it says is totally dumb anyway. So it's just like dumb. Like, what are you doing? And I'm dumber than you are for watching it. Like, you're dumb because you made it, but then I'm dumb because I just wasted 30 seconds of my life that I can't get back by just watching you go. See, how dumb did you feel right now? Did you just watch me do that? I bet you like, I just need to turn this off. I just wasted 10, 15 seconds of my life watching that old boy take a drink of his water can and not do a darn thing. It kind of just grinds my gears, but I just wanted to share that with you too. I'm just getting some things off my chest. This is kind of a complaining show, I guess, which I don't complain a lot, but sometimes you just think about some things and you got to get them off your chest. But I know so far I've complained about putting toppings on pancakes, and I've complained about different types of cereal. I've complained about old boys that sell the cleaners and drink it. What else have I complained about? Getting my nose broke while playing badminton. Yeah, I apologize. I ain't mean to make this a complaining show, but hey, I'm glad that you're listening, because sometimes you just got to talk, and let somebody listen to you. But hey, I'm about to end this show, but I was going to read you a couple of comments here from my YouTube feedback. I get feedback from you guys, and I appreciate it, because it's good. I ask questions, I say comment, and you do. And that helps me build the show. But I also got a couple good ones recently I wanted to share with you. Cam says, grow up and be comfortable in your own skin, and what another man is wearing won't matter to you. If you don't like his thighs, look him in the eyes. Now, this is in regards to my video on men wearing short shorts, So he tells me that, and that's pretty funny. But I just think honestly that that's a comment that's coming from an old boy that's wearing some short shorts right there when he said that. That's what I think, and you done got offended. So here's another one. This one's from Joe Mama. That's the name on the YouTube, Joe Mama. You've got the gayest mustache I've ever seen. Well, hey, my wife tends to like it, and so does your mother. So that's all I got to say about that. So that's how we're going to close this out. And I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you hanging out with me for another episode of the Cowboy Corner. I'm going to hit you back in a few days. We're always going to come back. We're going to have some guests on. We're going to start bringing some other fellers in here, some other gals in here, and, we'll just hit it back and forth and see where that goes. I do appreciate you watching. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. You'll keep getting the updates. We'll grow the channel. We'll get bigger and bigger as we go. And I really appreciate your support. Thank you, and we will see you later.